Hey folks, Crazy Clownator here again, and it's time we're going to finish off my 1993 series by looking at game number 1 in our 20 from 1993 series. But of course, before we do that, we've got to look at the honorable mentions list, the games that didn't quite make the top 20 list but are still worth checking out. And we are going to start with 3 Count Bout for the Neo Geo arcade machine by S&K. Kind of an interesting game of wrestling. It doesn't just take place in a wrestling ring, though. Might take place in an alleyway, and you can collect weapons. An enemy might throw somebody from outside the arena or area at you. And now we're going to look at Batsugun by Toaplan. Pretty decent vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. A lot of nice weaponry you can collect. Bonus chevrons, different characters you can select, different aircraft, nice power-ups, boss fights of course, not too bad. And now we're going to look at Cadillacs and Dinosaurs by Capcom, a beat-em-up based on the comic series and maybe a cartoon series as well. You gotta fight these poachers that are trying to hunt dinosaurs in present day. A lot of times it seems that dinosaurs hurt you. I think in the comic and cartoon they were trying to just mind their own business generally and could be an ally to humans. Maybe less so in this game, and you can choose from 3 different characters. There's Hannah driving the car. And now we're going to look at Crime Patrol by American Laser Games. And this is a Laserdisc live-action game which you move crosshairs and shoot the bad guys. And try not to shoot civilians or cops. Cheesy acting, but there's a bit of a budget behind this one. There's a strip bar. Interesting settings. Some nice explosions.
Welcome to Delta Force.
But now we're going to look at Cyber Sled by Namco, and this is a 3D polygon tank battle type of game. Kind of cool looking. Maybe a bit dated. Perhaps dull by today's standards. And now we're going to look at a game called Dio, and this was created by Athena, and it is a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. Pretty decent graphics, kind of reminiscent of Truxton. Cool lightning shot there, and you can fire missiles, pick up power-ups. Boss fights, and you can change your firepower. And now we're going to look at, Drug Wars Crime Patrol 2. Came out the same year as Crime Patrol. Even bigger explosions, perhaps, in this one.
They're stashing drugs in this place. What do you say we get a little housewarming?
Kind of cool laser gun or light gun game. And now we're going to look at Fighter's History by Daddy East. Not a bad beat 'em up. Mizoguchi is kind of the face of the franchise. There was a sequel, Fighter's History Dynamite, or Karnov's Revenge. I kind of like the clown character. You can knock off a weak part of their outfit, like a headband or something, and that's kind of their weak spot. And now we're going to look at Grindstormer, and this is an okay vertically scrolling shoot 'em up by Toaplan. I like that you can collect the signs that say bonus points X amount, or weapon power up this or that, and you can get some nice option fighters alongside with you. Good graphics, good music, kind of reminiscent of Truxton. Now we're going to look at Martial Champion by Konami, another beat 'em up, and I kind of like this one. This has nice big sprites, and one of my favorite characters is Rachel, the American Ninja. She's blonde and blue-eyed. Huge thighs, really strong gal. I like that the camera pans upward as you jump in the air. Kind of cool. Like I said, nice big sprites. The enemy seems to smarten up quite a bit the more you beat him up in a match. There's another female fighter, Titi from Egypt. And now we're going to look at Night Slashers by Data East. This is kind of a cool beat 'em up, scrolling beat 'em up game. You can have some cool moves at your disposal. There's zombies that you can beat up, and they splatter into a gooey mess. When you do, it's kind of gross, but kind of funny. Not a bad game. I think I've seen this in the arcades. You can throw weapons at him too. Now we're going to look at Ninja Baseball Batman by IREM. I really like this. This one's funny as hell. There's baseball items that attack you, and you are a ninja with a baseball bat. It's hilarious. I do like this game. It's got funny sound effects too. But this is the final boss. And when he begs you to forgive him after you beat him, you say, hell no, and you bash him in outer space. This cracked me up when I first saw this. I played this with my brother in the arcades back then. And now we're going to look at Outrunners. This is part of the Outrun series by Sega. Kind of cool. Not as crisp graphics as you might like, perhaps, but it is pretty cool. Great sound effects. I like that you got a crowd cheering for you, and you've got an announcer. You can choose different paths to get to the end. Pretty cool. And now we're also going to look at, I guess this is Chinatown. I don't remember coming across this in the arcades, really. I definitely remember Outrun and Turbo Outrun I've seen. But we're also going to have us look at Power Instinct by Atlas, and this is another versus beat 'em up. It's okay. It's kind of got cool, authentic Japanese flavor to it. If you play it, you might know what I'm talking about. And it's got referees jumping up and down in the background, kind of reminiscent of Kuroko, I think his name was, in Samurai Showdown. And the old woman fighter, she cracks me up. She has a sister in the game too. She shoots her dentures at you as one of her attacks. Cracks me up. And now we're going to look at Sengoku 2 by SNK for the Neo Geo. And this is a mild upgrade over the original. Perhaps smoother graphics. I like the horseback ride battle here. You can get orbs to upgrade your samurai character. You can change into different forms, perhaps. It's very similar to the first game, but a little bit better. There's one of the power-up forms. And now we're going to look at Samurai Aces, and this is a vertically scrolling shoot-'em-up by Seikyo. It's reminiscent to the later game Gunbird, or similar to the later game Gunbird, which we will cover one of these days. And it's got cool little anime cutscenes. This is, I think, the ending where one of the dog characters, wolf characters, turns human, and the Shrine Maiden wants to marry him. She ends up getting big boobs in the sequel to this. I forget what it's called. But, definitely cool. Got some Japanese mysticism or history in it. And now we're going to look at Suzuka 8 Hours, and this is, or Suzuka 8 Hours 2, and this is the sequel to Suzuka 8 Hours. This was created by Namco. Samurai Aces is, yeah, I might cover that someday. This got kind of smooth, maybe a little bit smoother graphics than the original. I don't remember for sure. But you got some night racing in this, and you'll see your headlights turn on like that. Kind of cool. And here's the checkpoint. This was created by Namco. And we're going to look at World Heroes 2 as well. This was created by SNK for the Neo Geo, or ADK with assistance from SNK. Bigger roster, like 14 different characters, some new ones like a Viking. I remember seeing this in the arcades. It's kind of cool. He can make waves appear. I like the pirate character, and he can have shark-related attacks, and I think he has a pirate ship attack as well. Kind of cool. I like this game. This was followed by World Heroes Jet, and there's a football player too. He kicks footballs at you or throws footballs at you. Kinda cool. And later on there was a World Heroes Perfect. And we're also going to look at Spin Master, and this is created for the Neo Geo by Data East. And you have Yo-Yo, but you can also get power-ups. And it's a scrolling adventure. I like the cartoony characters in this game. They look kind of cool. I think I've seen this in the arcades. And there's different stages. Here's homing power-ups that you can get, and there's boss fights as well. And of course, game number 1 is NBA Jam by Midway in 1993. And this totally revolutionized the way that sports games were tackled in the arcades. It's very fanciful and hyper and silly. But this did feature the NBA license and has 27 teams of the time. And this was super, super popular in all the arcades. It's still fondly remembered by classic arcade enthusiasts. But yeah, there were 27 teams of the time, and you play as 2 of the players from that team, so it's 2-on-2 basketball. And there are just about 0 rules in this game. There are no fouls. You can smack an opponent around as much as you like. There are 3 buttons. There is a red button that acts as a shoot button on offense and a block button on defense. There is a blue button. On offense, you pass to your opponent, and on defense, you steal. And then there is a white button, and that is turbo. And you can move real fast when you hold down the turbo button, but you have a meter that will start to run out. It does recover quickly, so use the turbo button a lot in this game. You can use it in combination with other buttons to have special abilities, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But your goal in this game is to beat every single team, and you can't play a mirror match, so you will have to switch off eventually to play a different team and beat the team that maybe you were playing previously. See, all those famous stars of 1993, they're in this game, except for Michael Jordan and maybe a few other players that didn't want their likeness licensed. But you have to put in 2 credits to both start and continue. And we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, I definitely remember seeing this everywhere. Stop that Bandicam. But you get to put in your initials if you intend to continue, and you get to put in your birth date. And there are codes that you can put in that let you play as non-NBA players, possibly programmers of this game, and we'll look at those later. And I'm going to select my hometown, Portland Trailblazers, who started off their season last night pretty poorly. But yeah, you can only have the two players chosen for you for each team.
Blazers versus Mavericks.
And there are codes that you can put in during that versus screen, and we'll look at that later. Like I said, this game is very fanciful. One thing you'll want to remember is that if a player on your team scores 3 consecutive buckets, they're called on fire, and they will have ridiculous abilities, and they will not miss. You know, within reason. Don't chuck it from all the way across the court. But they will not miss until the other team scores. I love the announcer in this game. Generally, the game is a little harder than I like it to be. Yeah, abuse your opponent. Smack them around with the blue button, which is steal, and you can knock them over and run away with the ball. You can walk out of bounds. You can do backcourt violation. It seems like you can get away with goaltending. Maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe it does get called, and I've just never seen it. Yeah. Again, the red button, offense you shoot, defense you block. The blue button, offense you pass, defense you steal. And the white button is turbo. Yeah, use that a lot. The meter will refill quickly. There was later a version called NBA Jam Tournament Edition in 1995, and that allowed you to pick 2 out of a possible 3 players per team.
1 minute to go.
There will be hints in between 2 of the quarters. You can do head fakes by tapping the shot button, and that might free you up to get the defender away from you. You can press a combination of the shoot and turbo buttons when driving towards the lane, and that is where you get your really fanciful dunks, where you're completely gravity-defying. And if you are on fire, which I mentioned earlier, you might like spin somersaults and have the basketball be literally on fire. It's very silly. But yeah, to continue playing another quarter, you have to put in 2 credits. Very spendy game. Quite the quarter muncher. You can play 4-player simultaneous play if you like, or 2-player or 3-player simultaneous play, and that will make 2 players on each team. I was quite content to let the computer-controlled second player, because I'm only playing 1 player, or 1-player credits. This is such a great job by the announcer. In order to get a higher jump, you can press, I think it is red and white buttons together when shooting, and you can shoot higher than the opponent that way. Oftentimes they will block your shot, they will smack you around just as much as you could possibly want to do to them. And the announcer even says he's heating up, he's about to be on fire. That was a nice block. But yeah, you can block, you can jump higher to block. And that is red and white together on defense. If the opponent is shooting, then you can block their shot that way. And if you're shooting, then you can jump higher than them usually, unless you're being guarded by a much taller guy. So things like that you really need to study and ingrain them into your brain. But like I said, there will be coaches' hints between the quarters. And there's a little brief halftime show coming up here. Well, right now I've got a semi-comfortable lead, but the computer gets very, very aggressive at swatting the ball away from you, knocking you on your ass, and running the other way. It's very hard sometimes to get in position because the action is so fast to like block them when they're trying to dunk. But yeah, press red and white together to get more vertical and be able to block their attempt. You can block their dunks, you can block their layup attempts. But when you're just playing one-player credit and you have a computer-controlled opponent, you can see the arrows off-screen there, showing where your off-screen player is. And if you see the arrows not particularly close, you can pass to your teammate, your computer-controlled teammate, and try to drive into the paint. And if you're driving into the paint, and you don't have an opponent super close to you that can knock you on your ass, press the red and white buttons together to make a really nice dunk. Or if your teammate is already in the paint, they will automatically dunk if they're close. Like there. That's where I found my success in this game, was trusting. There's a good block. Trust your teammate off screen when they're in position. And yeah, I was controlling Clyde Drexler, who was known for his spectacular dunks, and I really didn't give him the opportunity in this game. I just kind of ran around and waited for Terry Porter, his teammate, to be open. Yeah, the Blazers' run of dominance in the West was coming to a close in 1993. Like I said, it's often hard to get in front of them when the opponent is in the paint. They're likely to still get the dunk off or the lay-in if they lay it up high. But like I said, to press the red and turbo buttons together, and you can really sky. Ooh, nice! Got the last shot in barely. Yeah, there's the coaching tips. Study those big time. Learn the tricks of the game, because just jumping in and trying to play, you're probably going to get your butt kicked. And like I said, there was a very popular tournament edition in 1995 of this game. There are updated rosters, new music, and 3 players that you can choose 2 from for each team. And there were some new features and Easter eggs. Yeah, my favorite part about this game was always the there he's doing the shot fakes. Nice. Yeah, don't be shy about shoving your opponent out of the way. Like I said, that blue button is the steal button, and you can knock an opponent on their ass. Do it with impunity, because the computer sure as hell is going to do it to you. Yeah, Terry Porter was not known for his dunking ability. He'd done it a few times that I'd seen, but any player can dunk if they're open in this game. Yeah, this had ports for so many systems back in the day. It was such a super popular game. Even though I'm not... Even though I'm not particularly great at this game, I can appreciate what it brought to the arcade scene or arcade sports scene. You'll often be annoyed at how well the opponent often shoots, or how easily they get the ball away from you. I had a pretty good lead earlier on, and now it's getting frittered away. The court is so short that they can just fly to the other end. Yeah, in order to beat this game, like I might have mentioned, you have to beat all the opponents. And again, if you're not going to be able to beat all the opponents with the same team, you're going to have to switch off to a different team and then beat the team that you had played earlier. And as long as you keep using the 3 initials that you put in and the birth date, then you'll be able to keep on playing. And it'll keep tabs of the teams that you had beaten. It'll start out by saying these are the teams that you have beaten, and once the screen is filled up with teams, then it'll start saying these are the teams you have yet to beat. And you will get the ending once you've beaten all the teams. See, I will enter my initials to continue on. We are certainly not going to have time to do a full playthrough of every team that I've beaten. I just wanted to show one full game, and then we will also see an ending, and like I said, we will see all the cheats. There are cheats that can help you. There is a hidden special game of Battlezone or something very similar. It's very, very poor 3D polygon type of graphics, but it's just a hidden game. There's the next game the computer throws at you. And yeah, here are all the teams, and there's the Hawks with Dominique Wilkins and Stacey Ogman, Boston with the late Reggie Lewis and Kevin McHale, and Charlotte with Larry Johnson, Kendall Gill, Chicago with Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, no Jordan, Cleveland with Mark Price and Brad Dougherty, Detroit with Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer. There's also Dallas with Derek Harper and Mike Iuzzolino, Denver Dikembe Mutombo, now the late Dikembe Mutombo, and Alfonso Ellis. You can see for yourself all the different players, and there's their stats. You might want to take that into consideration. The Clippers were actually starting to get kind of good at that time. For much of their franchise's history, they were the poor stepchild or whatever to the Los Angeles Lakers. But I just wanted to show you all the different teams. There's the late Drazen Petrovic. He played like 1 or 1.5 seasons with my Blazers, maybe a couple seasons. But Phoenix went to the NBA championship that year. I thought for sure they were going to win it, but nope, the Bulls won their 3rd straight. And Jordan would retire for a little bit, for like a year and a half or so. And there's the late Seattle Supersonics. But those are the teams that you can pick from. And the game keeps tabs of your stats. Like I said, as long as you keep putting in that the initials and the birth date. And we're gonna scoot forward to the last team, and so I have to switch off from Portland to. I'll just use the Clippers. I'm just gonna scoot forward to beating the game, and then we'll see the ending.
Here's the tip.
You can never seem to win the tip-off that I've ever noticed. If there's a way, leave it in the comments, because I don't know how to do it. Here's the ending. Two of the cheerleaders presenting you the NBA championship trophy. Shooting off the champagne. That is NBA Jam by Midway in 1993. That was game number 1 of our 1993 series, and looking forward to starting the 1994 series. It kind of stay straight and stay in school. By stay straight, they mean don't do drugs. But at any rate, it almost seems like they're indicating that there's something else you can uncover or something after beating the game. I don't know, or play a new game or something. That's not right. But at any rate, here's the coaching tips. Study these, learn them, make them your Bible, etc. Especially the high jumping maneuver with the red and white buttons. I'll show you some of these hints in action. That's how to head fake the opponent, and sometimes that can fake them out and draw them away so you can have a lane to the basket. There's the clear out. You have to repeatedly tap the blue button to swing your elbows. That was not a smart shot. There's a special dunk. I really like that one. And use the super jumps tip a lot in this game. That can allow you to block their shots, can allow you to shoot over the opponent. Secret power-ups. Yeah, there's special codes that you can use right at the tonight's matchup screen. And drone control, you basically know what that is, but we'll look at it again. Yeah, look at the arrows off screen. Feed a guy that's under the basket, your teammate, and he'll have an easy dunk. Yeah, court awareness, you know what that is. Super dunks, yeah, use the turbo and shot buttons together while driving towards the basket. And if you're on fire, then you can have really nice dunks like that. Yeah, an open player's more likely to make a basket, so pass to your open teammate whenever possible. Accurate jump shot. Yeah, some of these hints are kind of self-explanatory or obvious. Yeah, use the burst of speed with the turbo button, and remember that it replenishes quickly. Yeah, that's when a player gets on fire with 3 consecutive buckets, and they'll be able to keep hitting until the other team scores. And yeah, at the tonight's matchup screen, you want to put in certain codes, and the tank game is one for all 4 players. You want to hold all 4 players' buttons and hold down on each controller. And here's the tank game. It's like Battle Zone. If you get particularly good at this and destroy a lot of tanks, you can unlock the helpful offense-defense codes. You can die. I mean, these tanks can destroy you and end the game, and then that'll send you back to the basketball game. It's very blocky, very looks very crappy, but it's just a mini game is all. Like I said, it can unlock certain helpful cheats. All players power up. There.
Here's the tip.
See, we have big heads on. Big heads is a funny cheat. Gives your players big heads. You can have your offense better. You can have your defense better. You can pick off passes better. Or it can show your shot percentage. The big heads is very silly. Yeah, big head, hold up, and steal and turbo at tonight's matchup screen. Just various different codes you can see on there that you got to put in. Some of the buttons you might have to hit really quick because the tonight's matchup screen doesn't last terribly long. And now we'll look at all the codes that you can put in to play as the different players or different hidden characters, which includes famed Midway programmer Mark Turmel, and we'll see me play as him in just a second here. But yeah, you put in the letters and birth date, and you can unlock that character from that screen.
It's a blowout.
And they might have a record thus far at that point. Yeah, those are the teams that he has not defeated yet. And there he is on the left. He'll be with whatever team you choose.
Blazers.
And you can choose any team after any game. I mean, you can switch to a different team. We'll just play as him briefly. He's on the far left there. He's pretty darn tall in this game. Yay! Well, that was NBA Jam, game number 1 in our 20 from 1993 series by Midway. I thank you for watching. I hope you join me soon when we move on to our 20 from 1994 series. Well, I hope you all join me then, and I look forward to seeing you for that series. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.